aka Mr. Ice, aka Mr. Joker EP for those who don't know. And today here we have a guest on my channel. His name is Mr. Joker Killzone. He's in charge of KSW for the 2K19 League. How are you doing today, Mr. Joker?
I'm doing great, Joker.
No problem. Well, we're going to ask you a few questions here so the fans can know a little about yourself, about KSW, and we're going to get your opinions on WrestleMania, since WrestleMania is actually this Saturday and Sunday for those who don't know. Is that good? That good with you?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so first things first. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about KSW. How was KSW made?
KSW, it's a wrestling promotion that we're running right now. Not a real life wrestling organization. It is a gaming league for WWE 2K19. Where a lot of guys get together to put their ideas, build stories, have a good time in a nice, safe community. Again, using a lot of story elements and doing great matches for the entertainment and the love of pro wrestling.
Sounds like a good league. I am a part of it. Well, tell us, since we're on the topic of wrestling, this is a question I get asked by a lot of people. Personally, I've never gotten to, but I'm going to ask you. Have you ever wished you met any wrestlers, or have you ever met any wrestlers in your life?
Joker, I don't have to wish on that one. I have met several wrestlers in my lifetime. When I was younger, I used to go to a lot of shows and do a lot of traveling, and I was lucky enough to meet a lot of pro wrestlers.
Really? Tell the fans. What wrestlers have you met? Their stories. Tell us.
I'll start with one that everyone knows. The Enigma, Jeff Hardy. Anyone can imagine Jeff Hardy is a very cool, laid-back individual. Nice guy. Hands down. He got a chance to hang out with him, have a drink with him. Great guy. Can't say anything bad about him. Wish him the best in his future in wrestling. I would love to see the title back on him, by the way. Well.
Oh, hey, we all do. Hopefully, he gets one before he retires from World Wrestling Entertainment. Who else? Who else have you met?
This is a lesser-known name, but one of my favorite stories to tell. Me and a buddy of mine had just finished watching a taping of, I believe, SmackDown, and we went to the hotel that we were renting for the evening because we were out of town. And in the hotel, there was a bar. And in the bar, there was a wrestler sitting there by the name of Nunzio. If you know who he is, he was more known for being in a group called the Full-Blooded Italians in ECW. Not the WWE ECW, but the original ECW. And he competed in WWE as Nunzio. So I approached him, and I suggest this to everyone. If you ever get the opportunity to meet some of the wrestlers, approach them as a person, and don't come at them with that fanboy stuff. If you want to talk to them about wrestling, when I met Nunzio, I was like, "Sir, can I please talk shop with you? I know it's your job, but I love wrestling, and I would just love to sit here and have a drink and talk to you about wrestling." And he did. We sat there and we talked for hours about pro wrestling. And we became friends. He told me about his family and how difficult it was being on the road. And it gave me, as a person who isn't in the business necessarily, a real feeling of how it is to be in the business, to be away from your family for so long. But the important part of this story, the funny part, getting off subject, was as we were sitting at the bar, I had my WWE John Cena spinner title sitting on the bar right there. And this lady, this young woman, comes up to me and she says, "Oh my God, are you John Cena?" So I look at my buddy and I look at Nunzio. Nunzio's looking at me and I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Hey, was she able to see you?
Absolutely She cannot see me. But it gave us a great laugh, and we had a great laugh. And I told the girl about the great match that me and Nunzio just finished having, toward that turn of the house down.
That's great. That's great. Did she ask for an autograph at all?
Yeah. I did give her an autograph saying John Cena.
Lady, if you're out there, I'm sorry, this isn't John Cena, if you didn't already know.
By now, she's probably sold it and probably got a couple bucks for it.
Like a couple hundred.
John Cena's name scribbled on a napkin. Yeah. Sorry, lady.
Have you ever met anyone else? Any divas, any legends, Hall of Famers?
Actually, I met a diva and quite a Hall of Famer in the same day. I met Dave Bautista when he was out with Melina. They were out at a what is it? IHOP. Yeah, IHOP.
Batista loves his pancakes.
I bet he did. I bet he loved some of those Melina pancakes as well. So I had got Batista's autograph before he sat down at the table. He signed my World Heavyweight title. And excuse me for 1 second.
Oh, you take your time. Take your time.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
No, I got the autograph, and that was great. I was happy with that. So I sat down back with my friend, and we were eating our food. It just turns out that the table right behind me, Dave Bautista sat down. He was right behind me. A giant wall of a man that I'm probably never going to see again in my life. And I like Dave, don't get me wrong, but I had issues personally with Dave Bautista's moveset because, as I'm probably going to mention to you later, I have a bit of a past in professional wrestling myself. So I took the opportunity to talk to Dave about the issues I have with his current moveset. Because I've been a fan of Dave for a long time. So I approached him and I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Batista. I see you haven't gotten your food yet, but I'm also where I'll probably never get a chance to talk to you again. Is it okay if I just make a statement to you? It's about wrestling. Is it okay?" And he agreed. He nodded his head, so I spoke. And what I said was about his spine buster, his power bomb, the spear. They're all basically the same bomb.
Right.
And he agreed. He nodded his head. He agreed. And what I said to him was, is there any way you could throw something in between that to break up the monopoly a little bit? And I mentioned to him when he was younger and he was named Leviathan. If anyone knows Leviathan, that's from Florida Championship Wrestling. And in the Florida Championship Wrestling, Leviathan used to use a move called, that we all know as wrestling fans, is the jackhammer, used by Bill Goldberg. But Bill Goldberg was nowhere to be seen. He was no longer in WWE.
Right.
And I mentioned to him about using it, and he nodded. He liked the suggestion, and I let him go at that. I was like, "Thank you, Mr. Batista, for listening." And I said hi to Melina. But the great part is, the next pay-per-view that I watched, WWE, which is the next pay-per-view, because I don't miss pay-per-views, Batista in a Survivor Series-like match, in the middle of the ring, did the jackhammer for the first time. And unfortunately, it was probably the last time that he did it in the ring, because Vince and creators probably told him to stop doing that. Lucas Goldberg's coming back, and we didn't know that.
Either way, Batista's a great performer.
Absolutely.
One of the best Hall of Famers, one of my all-time favorites in the business. I grew up watching. Actually, one of my favorite factions believe it or not, is actually Evolution with Triple H, Randy Orton in his prime, Triple H in his prime, Ric Flair as basically the manager, and then there was Animal Batista.
Oh yeah, they were a group there. They were a faction. They were Monday Night Raw. If you couldn't get through them, you weren't getting anywhere on the show.
That's fact. They were basically the Shield of the old era. They basically the Shield of the old era. Like when the Shield first, that too. they had the fancy suits, had all the women, all the money, all the championships too. I remember that night. Back, I was young. I remember back on Monday Night Raw, watched the episode, and I think it was when Randy Orton won the Intercontinental Championship, and everybody in Evolution had basically all the titles. I think Triple H didn't Triple H have the world title? Am I wrong? Am I correct?
Oh, absolutely.
The World Heavyweight Championship. Then Ric Flair and Batista had the Tag Team Championships, and then Randy Orton won the Intercontinental Championship. So they were basically all strapped up with gold. I remember that night. That was an amazing night. The whole crowd was in shock, like, whoa, these guys are badass. They're like, these guys are badass. These are the real damn deal. This is the real deal, WWE right here. This group is the future.
They probably honestly would have got a longer push if Randy Orton didn't get injured.
Yeah.
All in all, still stuff.
Yeah, that was all in all.
And, Randy Orton and Batista both were injured in the same night, honestly.
Yeah, all in all, great fashion. And speaking of Randy Orton, WrestleMania is this Saturday and Sunday. It's actually a 2-part night, and they're going to be allowing fans. Unfortunately, I can't make it to WrestleMania this year due to COVID. But I want to Joker, I want to get your input on WrestleMania. How do you feel about this pay-per-view? Do you think the matches that have been building up the rivalries, do you think is going to be worth it at WrestleMania? Like, how do you feel about WrestleMania this year?
Oh, I feel like WrestleMania is always going to be a big event, and this WrestleMania is going to be no different from that. It's going to be WrestleMania.
Now tell us, what match are you most looking for? What match are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, well, look forward to a lot going on at WrestleMania. I mean, like you mentioned Randy Orton a minute ago. Randy Orton, that Fiend, Alexa Bliss storyline has been intriguing, so I really want to see where that goes.
Yeah, that's going to be a match I personally cannot wait for. Last time Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton faced off against each other, it was probably one of the best WWE title matches there was. I will say that. One of the best matches in my opinion. So I'm excited. They're both great promo workers, great wrestlers, future Hall of Famers in my opinion. So I can't wait to see how this rivalry unfolds, and especially now on Raw, the Raw before Mania. I can't wait to see that too. That's going to be epic, along with SmackDown this week too. We're going to be seeing a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match, and also we're going to be seeing the Andre Memorial Battle Royale. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. I'm sorry, I keep getting that wrong.
What I'm looking forward to the most at WrestleMania, it's going to be a story, and not because of attendance. They're not going to break any attendance records. But this year is going to be the story because it will most likely be the first year Roman Reigns isn't booed out of the arena as he makes his entrance.
That is true. Roman Reigns is a heel. That is right. Personally,
but he's loved now. We love him. I love the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, I'd say this. He's doing great as a Universal Champion. This whole Tribal Chief gimmick is going great. The Edge is bringing out basically his old heel form. I'm liking that. Daniel Bryan, Great work. Daniel Bryan's challenged that anger for the years. He wants to win one last title before he retires. Edge has a momentum going in. He wants to win a title he's never lost. And Roman wants to submit his dominance as the tribal chief. All three.
Well, what makes it so great is in storytelling, in professional wrestling, and storytelling in general, is that it has to be believable to an extent. And I believe every character's motivation, they all have unique motivations, and especially Roman Reigns, his tribal chief. Those tribes, those Samoan families, they grow up tight together, and that wrestling bond, that wrestling in Hawaii is a real thing, and it goes back past Yokozuna. But I'm going to use Yokozuna as an example because when Yokozuna was champion and making a lot of money, he always traveled back home and shared his money with his family. That's the same idea that Roman Reigns, as our tribal chief, is trying to tell that story of him being the head now of the table. And I love that as storytelling.
Yeah, so that's, like I said, this match is going to be personally one of my second favorite match, along with the Fiend versus Randy Orton. This is a match I really want to see. I can't wait to see at WrestleMania. I can't even choose. I can't even pick a winner of who I want. It could go both ways. It could either be Roman winning, it could be Daniel Bryan winning the Universal title, which he's never won. It could be Edge winning the Universal title for the first time. Roman could retain the Universal Championship due to Jey Uso, or both Jimmy and Jey Uso. Who knows? It could go both ways, but that is going to be an excellent match at WrestleMania. I will say that. That's going to be a historic night for everyone to see. So tune in and make sure you guys watch that match. You won't be disappointed. I promise you.
I want to point out, which is probably going to be my personal favorite match between me and my wife, because we both legit love her. Bianca Belair. Sweetie, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. Yes, Bianca. Like he said, win the belt. Trust me. I want you. I mean, I'm a fan of Sasha Banks, but it's hearing Bianca's backstory and how she got to where she was, and her ring work, and her wrestling work, and her promo skills, excellent, amazing work. I really hope she wins her first main roster title this Saturday at WrestleMania. That's something I will be rooting for. That's someone I will be rooting for. It's Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship match this Saturday at WrestleMania. That's a match to see also.
She's been through quite a lot, especially if you follow NXT and you've been watching her career develop to where it is right now. I'm really excited for it because her athleticism is completely different from a lot of other people. She's a legit athlete.
That is a fact.
She is strong. She is ready. As you mentioned, her promo work has been fantastic, and I think she's ready. I think she's ready for the big game. I think she's ready for the stage, the lights, the music to hit, and she's going to give us a Bianca Belair that we have never seen before. And I bet her ring attire is going to be on fleek.
Yes, it will be. Like I'll say this, her entrance on fleek, outfits, the whole 4-9, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great WrestleMania in my opinion. I'm definitely going to be watching both nights of WrestleMania. I'm very excited for it. Very, very excited. Now, to our next question. I don't know if I asked this, but how did KSW start?
KSW?
Yeah, your 19 League. Actually, I'll ask this. Who first came up with the name KSW?
KSW, the kill shot wrestling comes from one of members of management came up with that name.
Gotcha. And how long have you guys been running since 2K16, 2K17? Just night.
It's new. It's for me. This particular thing, this league is different because the job that I do for this league, I actually did in real life. I worked for a company that was my own creation. It's called New Millennium Wrestling Alliance, and this was real people, real wrestling storylines, scripted, paychecks, and a license to do what we did. So I'm using a lot of that knowledge that I had from that, and I'm bringing that to KSW.
That's good. That's how our league is supposed to run. I like that about that. I like that about your league. You guys have been doing a great job. Keep up the great work. And folks, that's all the time we have for today. Joker, thank you for joining us. It was a great honor to have you on here. Thanks for tuning
Thank
in.
you for having me. And everybody, make sure you check out KSW. You can find us on Discord if you haven't, or find us on PlayStation. If you're in the night team, feel free to come join us.
Yes, sir. And everybody have a great rest of the week. Enjoy WrestleMania. And we'll see you on the next podcast next week. Take care, y'all.